Children, you have completed your second lesson. I am very happy to see all your assignments. And today we will be entering into our third topic. The third lesson, fourth lesson and fifth lesson, they all come under a single topic, single unit, that is taxonomy. And here we are going to talk about the morphology of our plant. Morphology is the external character of the plant, and this external character of the plant is divided into two types. One is the vegetative part and the reproductive part. So in lesson 3 we will be discussing about the vegetative morphology. So if you take vegetative morphology, the parts that come under them are the root, stem and leaves. So in our lesson today we will be talking about the root, stem and leaf, its characteristic features, its functions and its types. So these are the things we are going to see in today's lesson. At the end of the lesson you got some answers, evaluations around the 6 to 7 questions. I want you to work it on your own, write the answers and send it to me as an assignment before today evening. I want you to do this, carefully watch the link and refer your textbook, so that will help you to complete your assignments. Come on children, let's explore knowledge.
The third topic would be lifespan. Based upon the lifespan, plants are classified into annuals, biennials and perennials. Annuals are the plant that complete its life cycle in one growing season only. It will grow only one reproductive phase and one vegetative phase. After that the plant will die. Example, peas, maize, watermelon, groundnut, sunflower, rice. After they give their fruit, it will not grow for the next time. It is all for that. The second, biennials are the plants that have 2 seasons, growing vegetative during the first season and flowering and fruiting during the second season. So they take 2 seasons, therefore they are called as biennials. Example, onion, lettuce, fennel, carrot, radish, cabbage, spinach. So these plants, they will take 2 seasons, one for their vegetative growth, another one for the reproductive growth. The next thing is about perennial, which we call also as geophytes. The plants that grow for many years and set flowers several seasons during the lifespan. When they bear fruit every year, they are called polycarpic. Example, mango. And some plants produce flowers and fruits only once and die after their vegetative growth for several years. They are called the monocarpic. Example, bamboo. So these plants, they grow for many years, and in every year if they produce flowers and fruits, it is called polycarpic. Only once it is called as monocarpic. We'll get into the important topic, the first organ, root. Root is non-green in color, it is cylindrical, it grows towards the soil, so positive, geotrophic. It develops from the radicle, and the main function of this is to absorb water, nutrient, and helps in anchoring the plant. We'll see the characteristics of the root. Root is the dissenting part of the plant, generally non-green due to lack of chlorophyll pigment, and they do not possess nodes, internodes, buds and all. It bears root hairs, and it is positive geotrophic and negative phototrophic. These are the characteristics of the root. Let's move into the regions of a root. If you take a root, you can find 3 regions, that is meristematic zone, zone of elongation and zone of maturation. The meristematic zone consists of the root cap, where the cell division keeps on taking place, and in the region of cell elongation the cell enlarges, and in the maturation region the cell matures. The 2 types of roots are taproot and the fibrous root, which you can see in the picture. You can find some differentiation here, that is, there is a central main root called the primary root, from which the lateral roots develops called the secondary root, and from secondary root many branches produce out, which we call it as the tertiary root, and finally with the root hairs. This is about taproot system. But when you go to fibrous root system, you don't find primary, secondary, tertiary and all, but a tough clusters of root arise from the base of the stem. So we call such roots as the fibrous roots. So in fibrous root there is no nodes and internodes, and it directly develops from the base of the stem. So this is a basic difference between the taproot and the fibrous root. The primary function of a root is to absorb water and mineral from the soil and help the plant to fix firmly in the soil. Apart from this, the root also special certain other specific functions, which we call it as the secondary functions or additional functions. To perform the secondary functions, the plant root structures gets modified for performing the function. Let's see what are the modification that takes place in the taproot first. The taproot is modified to perform storage and breathing roots. In storage you find conical, fusiform and napiform. We'll see them in detail now. You find carrot, radish and beetroot there. Carrot comes under conical root. It is a root where it looks cone-like, broad at the base and gradually tapering towards the apex. And in fusiform, it is swollen in the middle and tapering on both the ends, at the base and at the top. And in napiform, it is very broad at the top and suddenly tapers towards the base. So these are the three examples for storage: conical form, fusiform and napiform. The next one is for breathing. You can find the down tube plants, mostly in the mangroves plant where they grow in the marshy areas. The roots need air. So for that, the roots are protruding out of the soil. You can find the nematophores with breathing pores in it, holes in it, through which the exchange of air takes place. We call it as a nematophore for exchange of airs. The next thing is about storage of food in the fibrous root. Here it is divided into tuberous root, fasciolated roots, nodulous roots, moniform root, annulated root for storage. Then the second function is mechanical support: prop root, slit root, climbing root and buttress root. And third is other vital functions like epiphytic, foliars, sucking roots and photosynthetic roots. So these are the various secondary function of fibrous root. The first picture is Hypomia batatus. It comes under tuberous root for storing of food. These roots are swollen without definite shape. Tuberous roots are produced singly and not in clusters. The second one is Dahlia. It comes under the fasciculated roots. The roots are in clusters from the base of the stem. So these are the two types. The next one will be nodulous root. In this type, the root swellens occurs only near the tip, and otherwise it's just normal. Example, curcuma, maranta or turmeric and ginger comes under that. The fourth type is monifolae. In monifolae, the roots are swollen and frequently intertwined, giving a bead-like appearance. The last one is annulated root. The picture that you see in there is Psychotrophia, where the roots are arranged in rings at regular intervals, and this is called epac. Let's move to the second thing, that is the mechanical support. You find two trees given there. One is prop root for ficus. The roots are found and from the branches hanging down and giving a moral support to the plant, which we call it as a prop root. The second one is Cercarium officinalis, that is sugar cane. These are thick roots growing obliquely from the basal node. Near the basal node, roots are formed which grows and gives mechanical support. Example is a Cercarium officinalis. The next one will be climbing root. Example is our money plant. Okay. Epiperium pinnata. Here you can find the roots opposite to the leaf. This roots helps in climbing on the wall or trees where the support is given. And the next picture is a bombax, buttress root. These roots, they have a plank board like structure around the trees, and they grow obliquely and give support to the huge trunk of the tree. This is an adaptation for rain forest trees. Example, silk cotton tree, which we call it as bombex, white cotton tree, and terminal Arjuna and Deluxe regia, Petorigal. The next topic would be shoot system. The plumule of the embryo, germinating seed, grows into a stem. The stem is elongated from epicotyle from embryo into the axis that bears leaves from its stem. And they are the actively dividing cells, and it is a mass of tissues called the leaf primordia, and it has got nodes and internodes. Let's look into the characteristic features. Stem is usually aerial, positive phototrophic, negative geotrophic. It has nodes and internodes, and it bears the vegetative buds like floral buds for reproduction. And the young stem is green, and as photosynthesis pigment, due to photosynthesis pigment is green. During reproductive growth, stem bears flowers and fruits, and branches arise exogenously, and stems shows multicellular hairs on their part. These are the characteristics of the stem. The primary function is to support bare leaves, fruits, flowers, to transport water and minerals, to transport food materials. These are the main function. Apart from this, the stem performs various other functions, which we call it as the secondary functions. Storage of food, perennation, water storage, buoyancy, photosynthesis, protection, support. These are the various other functions the stem performs. To perform this secondary function, the stem gets modified its structure. So, for performing this, the modification of the stem need to take place. We shall see what are the modifications that they undergo. There are three types of modification: aerial modification, subaerial, and underground modification. Let's take with the aerial modification. It's creepers, trailers, and climbers. Creepers are the one which crawl in the soil, and tailors, they are the plants which weak stem that spread over the surface of the ground without roots at nodes. And climbers, they try to climb upon the supporting tree. So these are the three aerial modifications. The subaerial modifications are runner, stolen, sucker, and offset. So what does they do? These plants, they in a runner, it is a slender prostate branch creeping on the ground and roots at the node. In stolen, it is a slender lateral branch originating from the base of the stem. First, it will grow obliquely above the ground, then produces loops and bend down to the ground. The third one is sucker. Sucker develops obliquely upward and gives rise to separate plantlet or new plant. The last one is offset, similar to runner, but it is found in the aquatic plant. So runner and offset are similar, but runner is a terrestrial one and offset is an aquatic variety. The third group is underground modification. Here the root is found under the ground, the stem is found under the ground, but it is a stem. What are the types we find is bulbs, corms, rhizomes, and the tuber. Bulb, it is a condensed conical stem surrounded by a fleshy scaly leaves. There are two types of bulbs. One is scaly bulbs, the other one is a tunicated bulb, onion and garlic. A corm, it is a succulent underground stem with an erect growing tip. And rhizome, it is an underground stem growing horizontally with several lateral growing tips. The last one is tuber. It is a succulent underground spiracle or globous stem with many embedded axial buds called eyes. Example is our Solanum tuberosum, that is our potato. So these are the various modifications that our stem undergoes to perform the secondary functions. Let's look into the next topic. Stem branching is a pattern of arrangement of branches in a stem is called stem branching. It is of two types. One is indeterminate, other one is determinate. The terminal bud grows uninterruptedly and produces several lateral branches, which is called as monopodial branching. Example, polyalthia. Okay. In determinate, the terminal bud ceases. As a result, the growth after a period of growth and the further growth is taken by successive several lateral branches of bud. Example, we call it as sympodial branching. Example, cycas. So two types of branching, one is indeterminate, another one is determinate, which is also known as monopodial branching and sympodial branching. With the example polyalthia and cycas, the branching is basically based upon the growth and stopping of growth of the lateral bud. We are entering into the next topic, leaf. Leaf is green, thin, flattened, lateral outgrowth of the stem. They rise from the nodes of the stem, and the leaves are the primary photosynthetic organ. They help in transpiration. The leaf of the plant together, all the leaves in the plant is called the phylum. It is again a general knowledge question. What is phylum? The entire leaf present in the plant is called the phylum. Leaf has its own characteristic feature. They are lateral appendages. They are borne on the nodes of the stem. It is exogenous. It is limited growth. Does not possess apical bud. Has got three main parts, that is the base, petiole and the lamina. And the lamina bears veins. These are the characteristics of a leaf. Let's look into the functions of the leaf. It is photosynthesis, transpiration, gaseous exchange, protection of the buds, conduction of water and dissolved solute. These are the primary functions. Apart from this, the plant performs secondary functions also. Let's look into what are the secondary functions. Storage, protection, support and reproduction. To perform these functions, the leaf makes its structure modified. For example, aloe vera, agave, they change their leaf structures. And beriberi, opentia, glossera, nepenthes, bryophyllum, begonia. See, all these leaves, they change their structure. They doesn't look like an ordinary leaf at all. Let's look into the part of the leaf. The leaf has got three parts. One is the part of the main lamella, hypodium. Then the petiole, mesopodium, and the leaf base is hypodium. So epipodium, hypodium and mesopodium are the three parts of the leaf. The leaf lamina is very flat and it has got veins in it. And the petiole, it is a bridge that connects the stem and the leaf. Sometimes the petiole is called as petiolated leaf, and if there is no petiole, it is called a sessile leaf. Sometimes this stalk, the petiole sheath base, may become a strong bulged one, which we call it as a pulvinous leaf base. So these are the various parts of a leaf. You can very well understand from the structure given over there. On to very important topic called venation. Venation is the arrangement of veins and veinlets on a leaf blade is called the venation. நரம்பு அரேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்கிறது. இப்போ மேலே நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 3 type of leaf இருக்குது. All these are called palmately reticulate. Reticulate venation means a network of veins. Veins நெட்வொர்க்கை போல் இருக்கும். இந்த நெட்வொர்க்கில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாம் பாமை போல் விரிஞ்சிருக்கு. சரியா, விரிஞ்சிருக்கிறதுனால we call it as palmately. It is palmately divergent, palmately convergent. The second picture is divergent, விரிஞ்ச மாதிரி. Third picture is convergent, சுருங்கின மாதிரி. So these are the three types of reticulate venation. Now we'll move on to the pinnately. What is pinnately? Here the veins are parallel to each other. They are not network. You can see in the picture they are very much parallel. The first one is pinnately parallel venation. The second one is pinnately parallel convergent. All are joined to the tip. Third one is pinnately parallel divergent. All are deviating from each other. So these are the three types of a pinnate venation. So the veins arrangement classifies what type of a leaf it is. Mostly reticulate will be found in dicot plants and pinnately will be found in the monocot plants. The next topic would be phyllotaxy. The arrangement of leaves on the stem is called phyllotaxy. We'll see it is of four types: alternate, opposite, ternate and old. In the first picture you can find a leaf in a node. So it is called as alternate. ஒரு நோடில் ஒரு இலை மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது, அடுத்த நோடில் அடுத்த இலை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் alternate. ஆப்போசிட்டில் ஒரு நோடில் ரெண்டு இலை ஆப்போசிட்டாக இருக்குது பாருங்கள், அது ஆப்போசிட். ஆப்போசிட் சூப்பர் போஸ்டுன்னு சொல்கிறோம், ஏன்னா ஒன்றுக்கு அடுத்து ஒன்று அப்படியே அரேஞ்ச் ஆகிருக்கும். த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் ஆப்போசிட் டெக்குசே. ஒரு நோடில் ரைட் லெஃப்ட்னு இருந்ததுன்னா அடுத்த நோடில் நார்த்து சவுத்துன்னு இருக்கும். அதுக்கு அடுத்த நோட்டில் ஈஸ்ட் வெஸ்ட்டுன்னு இருந்தால் அடுத்த நோடு நார்த்து சவுத். ஸோ ஆங்கிள் மாறி இருக்கும். தேர்ஃபோர் இட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் ஆப்போசிட் டெக்குசேட். The third type is called ternate. Ternateல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா in a node you will have 3 leaves. ஒரு நோடில் 3 leaves இருக்குதா ternate நீரியம். அடுத்து ஓல்டு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு நோடில் 4 leaves or more than that, 3க்கும் மேலாக 4க்கும் மேலாக இலைகள் ஒரு நோடில் இருந்ததுன்னா it is called as old. So these are the various types of arrangement of leaves on a stem which we called as a phyllotaxy.